we can start now.
Yes, so let's start this webinar. I'm sharing my laptop screen, so I have something to show, some details about previous webinar very quickly, and some details about the educational background of Dr. Deepak in this video. So I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so welcome to all of you. And today in today's webinar, we are going to discuss about the tips and tricks for the Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship. And talking about myself, we are the organizers. So I'm one of the organizers, and my name is Manshu Rai, and I received Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship this year, means for the 2025 fall. And along with me, we have Dr. Vicky Nandal, who is also a Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellow, and he is currently working at the Institute of Physics, Prague. He is also the Czechia Chair for Marie Curie Alumni Association. So very briefly, very quickly, I would like to discuss about the previous webinar contents. Those who have missed it can go and watch on our YouTube channel. And briefly, I would like to discuss it here, what we discussed in our previous webinar. So in the previous webinar, we discussed about the basics of Marie Curie Postdoc Fellowship. And along with that, we also discussed about the eligibilities and the deadlines. Then the funding and salaries. We also discussed about the country coefficient. And then how to find a sports supervisor at host country. You can either directly mail to a professor, or there are several websites like Urassess, and the Marie Curie matchmaking is also there. So through this, you can also approach the host and the host and institute also. And we also discussed about previous year cutoffs, means the cutoff for the 2025, which was very high because of the more number of applicants, because number of applicants were there around 17,000, and the cutoff for the engineering was around 96.8. So it was very, very high for all these streams. It was very, very high. So, and after that, we discussed the proposal evaluation criteria, which is a very important thing, and it was discussed by Dr. Vicky in the previous webinar, and he discussed it very beautifully, And he has several examples, several real life comments which were given by the reviewer. So, which the comments were talking about the excellence, impact, implementation. Several things were there. So this was a very important section, I would say. And then we also discussed a brief summary, like what are the key elements for a successful proposal, and then some common mistakes to avoid. So these are the things which are available in our which is available on our YouTube channel, which we discussed in our previous webinar. And one more thing which I would like to discuss here, as many of you would be planning to apply for the Marie Curie Fellowship this year. So I want to discuss the timeline once again in this webinar as well. So the timeline means the fellowship application has already been started on 9th April 2026. So this time, I hope that if you are planning to apply, means you would be preparing this. So from May to August, generally these months are considered for the proposal preparation. And the submission deadline, which is same for the everywhere, that is 9th of September 2026. And then again from October to January 2027, there will be expert evaluation. And finally, the result will be coming on 9th or 10th February 2027. And you can start your Marie Curie Fellowship from May onwards next year. So one more thing which we discussed in our previous webinar as well. So if you are planning to apply this year, and if you want any kind of guidance from us, if you want us to review your proposal, then you can contact us over our email, ScholarTank26@gmail.com. You might have received email from this email already. So now we would like to discuss about our guest, who is Dr. Deepak Kumar, and I'm very thankful he is joining us today. So talking more about Dr. Deepak's educational background. So Dr. Deepak received his PhD from IIT Delhi, India, One more thing which I did not mention here. So he is also a gold medalist in his MTech also, which he completed from the NIT Srinagar. After that, he joined IIT Delhi. And after completing his PhD, he has over 4 years of postdoctoral research experience, which includes 2.5 years at Carnegie Mellon University, US, and then after that, 1.5 years at University at Fellow. And he has recently joined as a Marie Curie Fellow at Imperial College London. Along with that, last year he joined as an assistant professor at Indian Institute of Petroleum and Energy, where currently he is on leave as he is now pursuing his postdoc. And talking about his research area, so his research is focused on multi-scale tribology of advanced materials, and he has published over 44 SCI index journal papers, 3 book chapters, 8 conference proceeding papers, and he has edited 9 books, which all together a great number, I would say. And along with that, he has received several prestigious awards, including the STLE Early Career Award, which he received last year in 2025. And apart from various awards, he has also secured competitive external research funding like Marie Curie Fellowship, Marie Curie Co-funded Fellowship. This is also very important. So if you are following us on our LinkedIn page, so in the coming days, in the coming weeks, we will also discuss in one of our webinar what are the other types of Marie Curie Fellowships are available where you can apply. So among that, one of the fellowship is Marie Curie Co-funded Fellowship. So he is also a recipient of Marie Curie Co-funded Fellowship. He also received DSP Inspire Faculty Fellowship, and also this year he has received this ANRF Research Grant. So many things in his bucket, and so many awards, so many grants, so many fellowships. And today he is with us to discuss more about how he actually wrote the proposal, he got this fellowship, and so now I would like to request Dr. Vicky Nandal to please take over this webinar and discuss more about the how to write proposal and everything about Marie Curie Fellowship with Dr. Deepak Kumar. So I'm
Yeah.
so
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Deepak, for joining us today. So now this webinar will be more like interactive, like we will ask his experience on different topics, like how he approached and about what he considered. For example, so as he had like a lot of experience in postdoc because he was in US for 4 years, like Dr. Deepak. So what motivates you to apply for the MSCA postdoctoral fellowship? Because you already had a permanent position, like you're working in India after your postdoc. So what motivates you to apply for this fellowship?
Yeah, so thank you, Dr. Himanshu and Dr. Vicky, for the kind introduction, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, so it was really great to, help the community, like research community, and in whatever way we can. So yeah, definitely, like the first thing you need for anything, it's the motivation. Like the first question is like very much right on the spot. So yeah, definitely it's a unique opportunity to get high quality, conduct high quality research. And also the Marie Curie is emphasized on the career development, interdisciplinary research, and you will get the academic independence. So I think the motivation is like Marie Curie gives you, it serves as a bridge between to get a faculty position and after your PhD. So it will make you like an independent researcher, like because you will be the PI on a project which you will lead it for 2 years. So when you apply for the faculty positions, like most of the interview panels look up whether you are able to work independently or not. And you will also get a chance to mentor masters, PhD students. So you will get some supervision experience also, which generally people don't get in institute postdoctoral fellowship or something. So that is something unique with the Marie Curie. So I think that was the major motivation to make me like independent, like work on a project as a PI independently completely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so like many times, like people have like those who people who want to apply for this, so they have question like how should they approach the supervisor, like, and which institute they should approach. So in your case, how did you approach like Imperial College London? So what was your approach towards to finding the first host institution and the supervisor? Like, how did you approach?
Yeah, so actually many researchers, mostly I know everyone works a lot, but they don't explore like the other things like going to the conferences or these kind of things. So I attended like one conference in US, like which is very well known in my research area. So there I found one professor, I just talking about him, like about my postdocs and everything. So in between of the conversation, we get into it like, okay, if you want to apply for some funding or something, so you can definitely approach me. So that's how I got it. But the other thing which it's not like randomly I talked to him. I checked his background and everything before I approached him because, so I think in the Marie Curie, the if you are approaching a host, so you should be useful for your host as well as your host should be useful to you. It's like a vice versa contribution always. So it's not like also like let's suppose it's the research proposal which you are going to build. It should not be like completely off track from your research, but it should not be the same also. Like whether it is related to the host or whether it is related to the applicant, which who is going to apply. So it should complement each other in some way. So likewise, you have to search for a host or the professor. You can email them and you can even sometimes you have to hit the door like multiple times because people are busy, but you should finalize a list of 4 or 5 professors working in your area, and then you should do a some search like whether this will be a suitable host or not.
Okay, great. So in your case, like you met during the conference, so it's fine for you. So you discuss like in person. But sometimes, like for example, if someone is not attending a conference and they're in India and they're going to approach some supervisor or host institution, so how should they approach? Because sometimes people complain like they are sending email to some professors, but they are not replying. So in that case, how they should approach, like sending email to one professor, then waiting for some time, or then try to find new one if they are not getting response from the first one. So in your opinion, how you can guide the applicants, like when they are struggling to find supervisor, how they should do it?
Yeah, so the thing is that one should start searching for the host as early as possible. I will say even the call has been started on April. You can even start before because host doesn't matter. So maybe you can start in January. You start like if you have like suppose a list of 10 professors, you hit the door for one professor first, and then wait if he is not replying like let's suppose 4 or 5 days. Then again you go all these things, and even you can share a brief research plan how you will be useful for him because if someone is hiring you, he should get something from you definitely. So you can approach it like that. So you have like if you will start in January, then you have like plenty of time, like 3 or 4 months to find a host, and I think you will definitely get it. Like if it is useful for your host, so it is not a difficult task. But yeah, you have to emails like multiple times to the professors and something like that, and try to tailor your CV like how you will be useful. Like try to emphasize those points when you are approaching the host or some professors. So yeah, I think that's the only way. Or yeah, other thing is to make going through some network if you have something. So that is another way to do it. But yeah, independently, the only possibility is to email and wait. That's the only thing you can do.
Okay. So I think people have like a clear idea, and also like some of the people they already like met someone, like they already find like host. But if someone is not like still finding the host, so they should apply this year or they should wait for one more year. How should they do it? I mean, because some of the people have this question like it's already 3 months remaining. They should apply, they should still find some host and then apply, or they should wait for one more year. How they should do it at this moment? If someone is attending this webinar for the first time and they got to know about this Marie Curie Fellowship, so how should they approach it? They should wait for one more year, or they can do something right now as well.
Okay, so I can share my experience. So I was not sure for applying the Marie Curie at one point, but I started. due to some reasons, I started looking for the host in at the end of the July only. So I applied I just took only 1 month to make it, but definitely the idea and everything that was in my mind well before that. But it's not difficult because still there is 3 months of time, so still you can apply. And even in the worst case, if the proposal is not successful, at least you will have something. Then next year you can improve it, and again you can apply. So people do it very regularly. Like sometimes it's depend on a lot of factors like reviewers, how the proposal is getting reviewed and everything. So all the best to everyone. Like everyone should get in one go, but sometimes it happens. So at least you will have the proposal and you will get some kind of comments also. You can address them and you can apply again next year. So instead of waiting for 1 year, it's better to apply now. So I think that's my point of view on that.
Okay, great. So this is very inspirational for the participant in this webinar. So the people, like, you can of course get inspiration from Dr. Deepak. So there is never late. So you can try, even if you didn't find any suitable host till now. You keep like asking some people or through some channel like URSS or B2B. There are some websites where you can still find the host, or directly you can send the email. So there is never late. So you can still try to find and write the proposal at this moment as well. Okay, so you already answered like when you start applying for this, and also like how to find the host and institution. So one of the major question people have, sometimes they have doubt, so the topic of the proposal, so as it involves the two-way knowledge transfer from host to supervisor, supervisor to host. So in that case, they should how they should approach. So how it should be different from their PhD research, or they can completely change, or like 50-60% should be same. So what is your approach in that case when they are finding some suitable host? So they should approach someone who has exactly similar background, or how they should do it? Can you share experience with that?
Yeah, so I think when you are, searching for a host, like the research area in which you are working, the professor should also work in the same area, but it's not the completely same, right? Let's suppose if you have a research area, there could be some sub-directions in every broad research. In every broad research area, there will be some sub-directions. So maybe the professor is only working on like couple of directions and there are few labs. And maybe you can give some inputs at that side. So it will help the professors to expand his lab as well as some research directions and his group. All these things. So I would say in terms of percentage, like if it is match of like 50-60%, that will be good, because this is one of the criteria when the reviewer will look up for your proposal. Like if it is exactly same, then host is not getting anything, like something. And also it's the vice versa, as I mentioned earlier also. If like the applicant it's the vice versa, like 50-60% match from the applicant and 50-60% match from the host side. So it should not completely match. Also, it should not be completely off track. So that is also an issue. So that's the one of the, evaluating criteria when the reviewer will look up for your proposal.
So in similar way, I can also share my experience in that case, because in my PhD, I was completely experimental, working in material science. But in my first postdoc, I worked on machine learning. Then when I applied for my postdoc, like this Marie Curie PF after 1 year of my postdoc, so that time I had like one paper on machine learning. So that was helpful because my proposal, my MSCA PF proposal was mainly like 60-70%, which uses machine learning, like machine learning research. So that was helpful because I had one publication. But sometimes people have got comments like when they try to switch some like field, but they don't have any paper on that field. So it has like a negative impact. So when the reviewer is checking, like when the reviewer is seeing your proposal and they find like you are switching your field, but you don't have any paper on that field. So it is not good. So when you're switching some field, at least you should have, like for example, one show, okay, you have experience in that field. So in my like experience, I can say like you can of course change the field, but at least you should have some. If it is under review or some preprint is there, it is also fine. At least they can see like you worked on this field as well. Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
a
let's.
great addition. Yeah, so the same thing I also want to mention, like when I applied, like the current project on which I am working, that's the very much like extension of my first postdoc idea. So from there, I only got one publication when I applied for this one. And I have like a lot of publications, but that was like the idea I can work in this direction. And I'm developing my research directions like into this area also. So yeah, as you mentioned, you had only one paper. I also had one paper. So yeah, so that's yeah.
Because I also know some people like one of my friend, he applied last year. So his score was 93.5, but the cutoff was around 94. So he missed 1 point like because when he wrote the proposal, he wrote on some topic where he doesn't have any paper that at that moment. So the reviewer like mentioned that thing like you don't have any paper on this in the excellent part, but the other parts are like excellent. I mean, he got like good score, but because of this thing, he was not able to get the funding just by 1 point, like 1%. Okay, so applicants they can try to like when they are building their proposal. So keep in mind this thing. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. Like so, because in the section in the proposal there is like one how did you address the like expected scientific like societal and economic impact of your proposal? Because sometimes when people work on some field which doesn't show direct impact on the, for example, any societal impact, for example, some basic science. So how did you approach in that? And if someone is doesn't know like how to write it, like for example, especially for societal, like how it is impacting the society, like that basic science. So how you did in your case, and what is your approach towards this, like when you were writing this section, because it has a major uh, percentage on the proposal and high impact. So you
Yeah,
can share your.
definitely. So the one of the thing which I focused because it's a European horizon funding, so there should be more. I mean, that's why my personal opinion, but like that should be more towards like Europe. So like my proposal is focusing on energy. So I put all these like SDG Sustainable Development Goal 7.3, which is basically for the energy efficiency. So I included all these things into that, like how the I mean, at the local stage, how the Europe is going to affected by the research direction which I am proposing, and as well as then exfoliated into the world. I mean, at the world level also, like in the broad term, and it just not like if you will. I mean, I want to mention like if you will write it using the AI can give you like very quickly like what will the societal impact, what will be the economic impact, but that is not going to work definitely here. So don't think you can write using the AI. You have to pull out the numbers from the official websites, like how much energy it is going to save, or how much, like if you are working on some environmental projects or some biomedical projects. So you have to get some numbers into your proposals. So that is very, very important. And also, since the purpose of the Marie Curie is to get you a position into academia, that's the whole purpose. But your proposal, whatever it is there, it should go beyond academia. Like it should relate to the industries also. But that's I mean, in the industries and how it is going to affect the pupils in terms of like social or economic or any kind of benefits. So that all the things you have to pull out into your proposal. Yeah.
Yeah, so in our previous webinar, we mentioned this thing very clearly. Like you have to explicitly mention, for example, as Dr. Deepak mentioned, like he pull out like SDG, how it is impacting, like exact numbers, which field it is going to impact. So when you are writing these like scientific, like societal and this economic impacts, you have to clearly mention, you have to clearly give the number, like how it is impacting the society. So you have to clearly explicitly mention those SDGs and those number. Like if you're, for example, if you're preparing, if you're making some like biomedical related some device. So you have to mention like what is in the market right now and how it is growing with time, like from some billion to like some other billion, like it is growing economically. So you have to explicitly refer those papers or any reports in the proposal. So when reviewer read it, so they can get the idea, okay, how important it is. So yes, so you have to clearly mention and more focus on this as well. Okay, so
Also, please highlight the numbers like by the bold or something. So that makes the reviewer like catch what you want to convey, like all these things. So that is very, very important.
true. Yes. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. Like, so in your proposal, like, and what's your opinion towards this? Like, when people want to write, like, how they want to disseminate or communicate their results. So, and how about the like exploitation plan? So, how should they approach it? Like, we already mentioned this thing in our previous webinar. Like, they have to give proper conference name, like which conference they want to attend, how many attendees will be there. So, how was your experience, and like, how did you approach towards these plans?
Yeah, so that is also a important factor when you will write the Marie Curie proposal. Like the whole purpose is how you will, disseminate your whatever you are going to get from this funding. So the first thing I mentioned about the conference presentations, like you have to travel, like you have to showcase what you are doing and how this fellowship is actually supporting you. And ultimately, that's the goal. Then other thing is the data sharing. Like in this thing kind of thing, you have to publish open access. You cannot, it's recommended to publish, always open access because the funding is there. You can pay the fees and all these things. That's not an issue because you want to take your work to everyone. Like the money should not be a constraint to get whatever data or the paper you are generating. So that's the two things which I actually mentioned, put there. And also you have to arrange some public outreach activities. Maybe like you can call like in 2 years you can arrange like one workshop kind of thing where researchers in your area as well as other area researchers can also come, and you can show it in very, very simple way, like what you are doing, how it is going to affect, like whether it's socially or economically. So all these things you can actually do it, like for whatever you are getting, how you will actually disseminate those.
Yeah, Dr. Vicky. Yeah, one thing I would like to mention here, continuing whatever Dr. Deepak has said, like you should be knowing how to disseminate your results. For that, one more thing you can do, like you can go to the website of your institute, host institute, and see how they are disseminating. Means there will be a science webinar, there will be a science seminar, or annually they are conducting a science seminar or science kind of conference from the institute level, or at the institute level, or at the university level, at the city level also there are something. So you need to note down those conferences, those seminars, and then you need to mention that in your proposal that my institute where I'm going to apply is going to conduct this, and through these things I would like to convey my research work. So this is what also you can do.
Okay, thanks for your input. So I'll go back again to the excellence section because I just got one point. So in the excellence section, sometimes people ask, they have question like, okay, how many work packages they should have so they can finish in 2 years of span. So Dr. Deepak, what was your experience with this? Like how many work packages you kept in your proposal? Because in my case, I kept 3. Sometimes people have like more than 3, sometimes 4. So and they got this comment like it is over ambitious. It is not possible to finish within 2 years. So what is your view about this? Like, so that when people are writing, like, for example, when some applicants, those are attending this webinar, or the people who is going to watch on YouTube later, so they can get idea like what is the best number of the, like average number of the work packages they should consider.
Yeah, so in my case, I put 4 work packages, but I like it was in mind like it should be completed in 2 years because
You mean four work, sorry,
4 work
sorry.
packages. Yes.
4 work packages of the scientific work packages, you mean?
yes, 4 work packages was there for the scientific, and the objective was also 4. So every objective will be completed in specific work package, and every objective as well as the work page is interrelated with each other. But like, I mean, it should not be like, let's suppose if you are targeting 6 months for one work package, so it should not be like, the reviewer should not feel like it cannot be completed in 6 months or something. So you have to be like, maybe your idea is very good, but you have to make it in such a way like it can be completed in 2 years. So I put 4 work packages in 6 months, and then I also then subdivided like what I will do in, like in work package. Suppose I'm deciding to complete it in 6 months, then I also decided one plan for each 6 months what I'm going to do. So all these things you can put into the proposal. That will make you that will make reviewer understand like you are clear what you are going to do within 2 years. So, but it's up to the candidate. Sometimes people put 3, sometimes 4, as you mentioned. So, but it should be completed within 2 years. Like it should not be over ambitious, something like.
Yeah, if work packages are like not long enough, like for example, work packages is, or one scientific thing is taking 6 months, then you can write, of course, 4. If you think like these, it will take more time, then the best number is like 3. Because if you think like your one work package or one objective will take more than 6 months, let's say 8 months, so in that case, 3 is fine. Otherwise, you can keep it 4. But don't make it like more than 5 or 6. Don't show like you will going to solve a lot of problems in 2 years, because reviewers they are like experts, maybe not in your field, but they have like a lot of experience in reviewing the proposals, so they can see or imagine this can be done within 2 years or not. So select the best number and then go ahead with that. Okay, so let's move to the next topic, which is the career development aspects. So how people should present it, like how this fellowship will going to affect their career, how it will impactful, because they know, okay, they will be getting like good amount of money, they will get a lot of money for the networking, as well as mobility and living allowances, and also they can work in good lab. But when they have to mention like, okay, how it is going to impact your career, for example, for next 3 or maybe 5 years or long term. So how they should represent or present in the proposal.
So I actually outlined my specific technical and transferable skills, like I would acquire through this training or the Marie Curie Fellowship. So that's I emphasize a lot. And also I explained how these activities would support my long-term career objective, like my long-term career objective to get a faculty position. And so all these things I put it there. And yeah, I think these are the things which I mostly emphasize. Is like I also put emphasis on the interdisciplinary collaborations, because every project right now, I mean, if you are like on a specific domain, it's maybe you can do it, but it will take a lot of time. So I also emphasize like I will get interdisciplinary collaborations from, I mean, different departments. And I also mentioned like the professor's name there, like to whom I'm going to collaborate. So that will make you very, very specific. So all these things I actually put it, and I will, from this interdisciplinary collaborations, I will learn something. So that will help me in future once I will get the faculty position, like to work in different directions or to work on interdisciplinary projects. So all these things I actually put on, I mean, career development aspects.
Yeah, because everyone knows like this fellowship, Marie Curie PF, is the like very prestigious, like in the all over the world. So people know about it when they apply after this fellowship. So people will consider them like in academia, or if they want to go for industry, so they know this name and it will be very helpful. And if they have like a lot of good networking or training while the fellowship. Okay, so because when many people have this question, okay, so when we are writing 3 work packages or 4 work packages, everyone knows like finishing everything is not possible, because when we write something and when we do, there are a lot of challenges. Sometimes some machine is down, or sometimes then when they were writing the proposal or some objective, because it's a research, so we don't have like exact idea, okay, when I'm preparing something, or like doing some experiment, it will be successful or not. We just like do this thing, okay, so we may get this result which will be better than the previous one, or some good technique which we are using. So in that case, how we should focus on the risk management, because we have to mention clearly like what will be the risks and how we are going to tackle them. So how did you approach, and how important it is to mention in the proposal?
Yeah, so the risk management should, that is also a very, very important thing, because, we are proposing an idea. We are not sure whether, we are not 100% sure. It's a hypothesis, whatever we are proposing. So although we think it can be completed in 2 years, but there could be some risk which is always there with whenever you are writing. So you have to put realistic scientific and technical risk, whatever is there in your project, and along with like practical mitigation measures, like if this will happen, how you will going to tackle this. All these things should be very, very clear in your proposal. And definitely reviewers also appreciate like proactive planning, and rather than the generic statement. So again, I will say, don't write it using the AI. Like think yourself and write it very, very like scientifically or technical. What are the risks that are going to come, and how you are going to mitigate them if they will arise. So that's the thing which I personally focused on this part.
So in proposal, like in your view, so there are like, we know, because we are working on some project, we know, okay, there may be some risk related to research. So should we also consider about some non-research related risks? If yes, then what should we consider? For example, if supervisor is leaving the institution, for example, in that case, what you will do? So like non-research related aspects, like did you consider any non-research related risk, and how important it is?
Yeah, so I did not consider this if supervisor will left, but I think even if the supervisor will left, like since you are the PI of the project, you can still work, because the facility and everything is going to exist. Or I'm not 100% sure, maybe there is a possibility to change the supervisor with the host institution if those cases arises. So I personally did not emphasize all these things, but I think that's a good idea to put it.
Not specific this one, but like some administrative type of risk, or if some machine is down or something like that. So
yeah, I also put like if something is not working, like the instrument which I'm planning or the methodology which I'm going to develop to execute this project. So what I'm going to do if that is not going to happen. So all these things I definitely put it there.
how to, for example, if we take specific one, if someone is doing on experiments and if some machine is down, they can mention this thing in risk. Okay, some machine will be down, they will contact in some other lab. So how should they write for the mitigation plan? Like
Yes. So yeah. So in terms of if like if there is any technical issues in the machine or something, definitely we have the limited time period of 2 years. That is not much. Once you start, how the 2 years goes, it's like very, very fast in research. So definitely like I did not mention it, but you should have a backup plan. Like you can initially think of like the machine availability in your nearby institute or something. Definitely you can keep all these things into mind, and also you can mention in the proposal if you want it, if you have the space, like to definitely. So I think that's the thing one can keep.
Okay, I can add on one point here, and maybe Dr. Himanshu also can if he add it, because I also like include some experiments. So in my case, I explicitly mentioned in risk, like in mitigation plan, I explicitly mentioned, okay, if this machine will be down, I'll go to this lab I will collaborate with this professor. So I mentioned the name. So when people write, they don't just write, okay, I'll go, if this machine is down, I'll go to some other lab and do the experiments. It will show like you don't have clear idea. So you have to clearly mention, okay, if this machine is down, I'll go to this lab. You just mention the name of the lab and then the professor name. So if the reviewer is checking that risk, so they will get idea, okay, so that guy or this applicant is very like much aware of this, and he knows, or he or she knows like where to go after this if something is happening. So it will have like positive impact. So explicitly mention the lab name or the professor's name.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I also did the same in my proposal. So I actually went to the website of KIT and found that the same machine, like I'm working on atomic force microscopy, so in which labs atomic force microscopies are available. So there is a central lab, there is a group lab. So I found the name, I found the list, and then those lists I mentioned in my proposal as well. Like if something goes wrong, so how to mitigate this. So this is what I also did in my proposal.
Yeah, great. Yes. So it is must you just mention very clearly the name and name of that professor or like that. Okay, so let's move to the next point, like overall about the proposal. So Dr. Deepak can mention. So can you mention some challenges, because you, as you said, you started in July, so you had like 2 months before the deadline last year. So what were the challenges you faced while writing, maybe contacting with the supervisor, or you got any like reviews from the grant office or from your supervisor? So any challenges can you mention, like while preparing the application?
Yeah, because the main challenge was because I started late. So, and I was working on another project also at the same time. So, getting, I mean, the time, I mean, the problem with the time definitely. And the host also, they are also busy. So, if you will start applying late, and if you will send them your proposal, they might not be able to look up very carefully. So, one of the challenge which I feel like the timeline when you will start. So start as early as possible. This is the recommendation. Another thing, once I will writing the project, so the one major challenge was the balancing the scientific depth, like with clarity and readability, because that's the important thing. Like you are not writing it, you know the idea, but you are not writing it for yourself. You are writing uh, the text like which will be read by someone else. So you have to put the scientific depth, but with clear readability and all these things. So again, that's depend on the time, because if you are on the time crunch, then 1 month will not be sufficient. It's very, very difficult to do it. So start as early as possible. So yeah, I think these are the two things like challenges which I feel. And yeah, and also the
This,
biggest challenge I will say, like to get everything into 10 page of limit. That's like the biggest thing, because once I write the proposal that was of almost 17 or 18 pages initially, and you have to definitely follow a specific format everyone knows, or you can look up the previous webinar, like where everything has been discussed. So within 10 page limits, you have to fit everything. Like, so it should be like highly, highly balanced. Like you cannot do like excellence section like in 7 pages, and just 3 pages you are putting your methodology and other things, like whether it's a risk mitigation or some work packages, all these things. So you have to be like very balanced in each sections, because once, I mean, the point is for every section. It's not just only for the excellence. Maybe your idea is like top notch, but you are lacking in other sections, so that it's not a good idea. So that will actually cut your marks. And since the cutoff is very, very high, even if you lose 1 point, that's make you out of the game. So
especially nowadays.
yeah, so that is also a challenge. How I will convert that 18 page into 10 pages, what I have to delete, where I have to concise, which points I have to focus. So that is also a challenge. So these are the 3, 4 challenges which I actually face.
Yeah, this the first one is very common one which you mentioned already. So like when you're working somewhere and you have to spend a lot of time in proposal because you are starting from the scratch, so you have to spend extra time, of course, and you're already working on some scientific thing, if it's experimental, computational, or some basic research. So we have to spend a lot of time, and we have to take time out of our like current the research which are already going on. So that's why we always mention this thing: start early as soon as like possible, like to do it, so that you can spend like time. You can take at least 2 hours every day if you're working for example for 3 months, if you have sufficient time. And if you're like starting in the last month, then you have to spend at least 4 or 5 hours every day to read every line very clearly and to write everything in very clear way. Because like it is not possible to get always the expert of your field when it will go to some reviewer. There may be some chances it will go to some non-expert like in your field. So if you did not write everything in clear manner, then there are highly chances they will think of it, this cannot be done, or this may be over ambitious, or they are not able to understand what applicant is going to do. So that is the most important. We have to write very clearly or something like that. If it is going to some non-expert, so they can understand at least at some point, at least some extent. So write in clear way your proposal. Okay, so let's move to the next. So did you receive any, because as you started a little late, like in July, you had like 2 months that time, because it took you maybe at least 15-20 days if you spent like 4-5 hours every day in 20 days, let's say, for example. So did you receive any feedback from your host supervisor or any friends, or did you talk to any successful applicant in past in the same fellowship? So how did you like get the feedback? Because it is not possible to just write by one person and just like submission without any review, because we did a lot of mistakes, right? So how you approached it? Like, did you get any feedbacks from any people?
Yeah, definitely. Like even if you will read your proposal like 4, 5, 6 times, still you will not be able to figure out what the mistakes you are making. So it's always better to check with your friends or the host supervisor, whatever it is. So yeah, definitely I approached the host supervisor. I sent my proposal, and he had a quick view, and he provides like few comments like you can do all these things. And other things, definitely, like I would like to mention, it's a chain like we are getting. So initially, Dr. Vicky Nandal got the MSCA Fellowship. Then I got motivated, I got it. Then Dr. Himanshu got it. So I was discussing with Dr. Himanshu and Dr. Vicky. I mean, you already know like about how to make the proposals, all these things. So that is really, really helpful. So your friends, or whether your host supervisor, or not the host, your PhD supervisor can also help you, like whatever you think like the relevant person. So you can definitely ask them to check your proposal before the submissions, because even a small mistake can make you lose like maybe 0.5 marks, and that can make you like out of the game. That's what I mentioned. So everything should be very, very clear, and there should be no typo. All these things should not be there at all. And I would also suggest to send your proposal to a person who is not currently working in your area. So if he is able to understand the proposal, then that means even if the proposal will go to like a reviewer who is not working in your area, he will be also able to understand the thing. So that's the another thing you should do it like before submission.
So this feedback is very important. So talk to someone right like at this point, like we have LinkedIn is very active. You can talk to some successful applicant. You can talk to us, so we can help in our way, like as per our availability. So it's always to get like some feedbacks from some more than 2 or 3 people other than your supervisor. So it will be very helpful to find some mistake which you are not able to see, for example. Okay, so as like you are successful applicant now, so looking back, what would you do differently if you were writing this proposal today? Because nowadays it's very competitive, and at that time also it was very competitive, but now, because last year applicants were like more than 17,000. Before that, I think in your time applicants was like 10,000. In my case also applicant were like 10,000. So this percentage is like doubling every year. There are like many factors, like AI is also one of them. So what will you do differently? For example, you are writing this proposal today. So what will you do, like which you did, like maybe for example you did some mistake in your proposal in previous one. So what you will do differently now?
Yeah, the very first thing I would start early, because the time was a crunch. Like you cannot, it's very, very difficult to do it in 1.5 months or so. So I would definitely start early. That's the first thing. And I also try to approach the host as early as possible, because right now, like I developed all the idea. I mean, maybe if you will approach your host like 6-7 months before, you can have the multiple meetings, and together he can also give some kind of inputs. So it will be definitely useful, and it will give time to your host also to all these things. So, and also I want to give, I think I should have given more time for the impact section, which I believe, although the proposal get through for the funding, but I think it could be better if I would have time. So all the things lie about the time. If you have the time, you can do the things better. So I would suggest the first thing, start early as early as possible. So I think that's the thing. And I did not get feedback from, because of the time, like I was not able to send the proposals to other persons or someone to give me the feedback, because they will also need some time, like a week or so. So the main thing, I believe, it's the time when you will start, like start as early as possible. So that's the thing. Actually, I believe I could have done it like a little bit earlier.
But yeah, you are lucky enough. You got like even you spent like 2 months, but yeah, you had like a lot of research experience. So when you have more research experience, you can do something in 2 months which some new person can do in 5 months. So
Yeah, so
maybe
because I
it's
got this Marie Curie co-funded earlier, so I know how to write these proposals little bit. So that helped me actually to complete it within 1 month or so. So if you are writing from scratch, definitely it's very, very difficult to do it in 2 months. You need 4 or 5 months to build a good research proposal.
Or they have to spend like if they are applying like just 2 months before, they have to spend a lot of time, not just
Yeah,
1 or
it
2
should be
hours, like
fully
maybe 3 to
concentrated on
5
the
hours.
proposal at that time.
Yes. Okay. I think we covered most of the things. So overall, like when we are writing the proposal, so in your view, like what are the common mistakes that applicant should avoid? It can be anything like in your view.
So as a researcher, generally focus on the scientific things a lot, but just you don't have to, you definitely have to focus on the scientific thing, but also you have to give equal importance for the, implementation, or what are the risks involved, or how you are going to execute it. So that's the most important thing, because in the excellence section, you will get the 5 points. Then in the next section, you will get execution, you will get 3 points, and the 2 points is allocated for the rest of the things like risk and all these things. So even if you are getting 5 marks or the 5 points in the excellence sections, and if you are not putting all the scientific, economic, all these impacts or risk mitigation, or the how you will execute it, even if you lose 0.5 marks, you will not get it, because the cutoff is now very, very high. So the one thing is that thing definitely, and also try to review your proposal with different persons, as I mentioned, with your field and without, and the persons who is not working in your fields. That will help you to make you understand whether you are writing it in flow, or how is the readability, all these things. So I think these are the few things people
What
generally
is
do.
your view? What is your view? Because nowadays people use a lot of large language models. It can be ChatGPT or for writing the proposal. So what is your view on it? Like people should use it if they want to use it, then they should use it very carefully, or they should not like use it. Like what is your view on this?
I'm not against any kind of AI. Like I think that is adding up in the research, but at the
They can
same
use
time,
they can use as a tool. I believe so. Like
they can use a tool, but they cannot use it to build an idea. I think
yeah.
that is not possible at all. Like if you want to, let's suppose, write scientific impact, like it will give a very generic impact. So that is not going to, that is not useful. Like the reviewers are expert there, like who is sitting there, so they can catch you in a minute. Like everyone knows how the AI is working. So I would suggest use it to refine the proposal, but don't use it to write the complete proposal. So that will be actually better.
And if like some people ask like I recommend them like for example because if they think like their English is not that good, so I recommend like they can use these models for refining the English, but after that they have to read every line very carefully because these AI it use like very fancy words, so any reviewer can understand after reading 2 lines like people have
Yeah,
used AI or not. Last
yeah,
year,
totally
not
agree.
last year, few months back, I attended one of the Marie Curie conference. So I met the reviewers in person. And they did some survey and they found like last year when they asked people like how many people used AI for even for the English or some writing only for language. So they mentioned like only 3% agree like they used AI, but we are sure more than 50% used AI for in their proposal. So we recommend like you can use it somewhere like to refine your language if you think like it can be better, and use it very carefully, read everything, and because you are the only responsible person when you are using this AI, and write it in the ethics section. If you are using AI, write it clearly like you used it. And if you're using, for example, AI in your proposal, I mean to say in research wise, when you are like some models, I mean model when I say like, for example, artificial neural network or any machine learning models in your science, for example. So in that case also you have to mention very clearly like where you are going to use this AI and how it is going to impact the science. I'm not talking about just language or tool as a tool, but in the scientific part. Okay, I think we covered most of the things. So we have one question. Other people also can write some question if they have. So Anupam Tiwari, he asked like, is there any age limit for the MSCA fellowship? There is no age limit, but you should not have more than 8-year experience, research experience. If you have like less than 8-year experience and you did your PhD, for example, 12 years back, it's fine. You can apply for it. But your research experience, explicitly research experience should be less than 8 years while till the deadline of, for example, this year it's 9th of September 26. So there is no age limit. You can apply anytime. Yeah, you should have PhD. Yes, Dr. Imanshu. So you can give closing remarks, and we can also ask if anyone has any question. You can write it down now or maybe later. So we will be very happy to, clear that and as per our experience. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I think no more questions. We have only one question. In the last webinar, we have several questions from the participants. So if you get any questions later on after this webinar, so you can definitely email us and then we'll be happy to reply it. And I think it's a very good webinar, and if you are following it continuously, if you listen to Dr. Deepak and Dr. Vicky continuously, so it is going to help you a lot, definitely. I'm saying it from my experience, and thank you, Dr. Deepak, for joining us today. And I know you have joined recently, and it was a bit difficult for you on a very short notice. You joined us, so thank you very much for this. And if you want to say anything as a closing remark,
any general thing, if you can come into your mind, I will also share some thing, or maybe I can share now, maybe you can reframe in between. So I always give one advice to the applicant. As I said, like this Marie Curie postdoctoral fellowship, this take like more than 1 year, mean to say, from applying to start. Like right now, for example, today is like May, and the deadline is 9th of September. So when you will submit your proposal, and after that, like result will come into like second week of February next year, and you can start like by May or June 27. So from now it's 1 year. So do not just rely only on this Marie Curie fellowship. If you have finished your PhD, look for like open position, or if you have any contract. So you can, and meanwhile you can write it. Just don't like sit idle and writing only for Marie Curie fellowship. I recommend to apply meanwhile and write it down. In meantime. So we have one question from Sachin Kumar. So I applied last year for MSCA. Can someone help you in reviewing this year? Someone help you in reviewing. So what do you want to ask?
I think he's asking to review his proposal this year to one of us.
Yeah, but if you are asking us to review a proposal, then definitely email us. I hope you have our email, so ScholarTank26@gmail.com. So you can email us, and then we'll look into this. We can discuss more about it.
Yeah, and as Dr. Vicky mentioned, you can join this Marie Curie Like if you are applying in September, you can join it up to 2 years after application if you will get it. So it's a lot of time it will
Anytime.
give you to join. Like I postponed it for 1.5 years after I got the result. And definitely it will help you in your academic career, because I got the faculty position in India after I got the Marie Curie Fellowship, but I did not even join it. So it will help you in interview to, definitely it is going to help you in some way. Not in India, like in any country. It is like very renowned kind of thing. So
Okay, so we have one question from Nisar Khan. Thesis submission or provisional degree valid for application? So till the deadline, for example, 9th of September 26. So if you have provisional degree, that is fine till that point, or you should have defended. But if you have thesis submission till 9th of September, then you cannot apply. So you should have defended till 9th of September 26, I mean, for this year application. If you have already defended and you have provisional degree, then of course you can apply for the application, this Marie Curie application. Okay, so we can close this meeting now. So thank you so much, Dr. Deepak and Dr. Himanshu, and everyone, those who have joined. And we will share the recording with you if you missed any point, or you can share these like recording with anyone like who want to apply. So it will be helpful for them as well. So thank you so much for joining, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
thank you, everyone.